Today we're going to talk about developing your pieces. That is a simple phrase that means getting your pieces, like your knights and bishops right here, off the back row, attacking the middle squares. These four squares right there. Um, so, for example, this would be incorrect because playing your knight to the edge of the board means that he's not actually attacking the middle. So if you're a new chess player, definitely do not do this. If you're an experienced chess player, you have to learn when it's okay to do that. But for this lesson, we're not gonna praise this kind of move because typically it isn't useful and it's usually bad. A better move would be moving your knight to the f3, where it can see the middle 2 times. That is a very strong first move. Here's another example. If you move your pawn here, that one attacks the middle. Maybe black does kind of the same thing like this. And then we have bishop c4, which also attacks the middle. So moves like this that attack the middle with your bishops and knights early in the game are very good. And that's what this video is going to be teaching you today. So there are 3 reasons that we want to develop our pieces towards the middle. The first reason is centralizing your pieces or putting your pieces close to the middle allows them to have more I guess scope is the word. Like you can say they have a bigger scope, but I guess the simplest way is just to say your pieces have more options where they can move. So this knight right here has 8 squares that he could potentially move to or attack or defend or anything like that. The bishop, because it's so close to the middle, has, I believe, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If it was in the middle, it would be 13. Now, again, if you picture a knight in the corner, it only has 2 squares that it can move to. Or a bishop in the corner only has 7 squares that it can move to. So when you're in the corner or on the edge, you have fewer squares than if you're closer to the middle. And why would you want your pieces to have more squares that they can target or move to versus less squares? And the reason is if your opponent does something and you have very few options with your piece, you probably can't defend against their attack. But if you do have a lot of options with a piece, then you will be able to, respond to their threat or do some things. So we're going to see examples of that. This position here represents like what you would do every single game if you could. The reason you cannot always get this set up every single time is your opponent is going to make moves to try to stop you. So, for example, this bishop, or actually both bishops attack the middle, both knights attack the middle, as you can see. The queen attacks the middle 2 times, and both rooks are lined up with the middle so that when pieces move out of the way, the rooks can attack the middle too. So this is typically what happens when you are attacking the middle with your pieces and your opponent doesn't do anything in the middle. You can usually get this kind of a setup. Obviously, there'll be more pawns and the black pieces will be there. I'm just using this for, a simple example, so it's not overwhelming. But you will notice, most importantly, that the king is not in the middle. The king is actually moved away from the middle because he castled earlier. Because your opponent and you are both putting lots of pieces towards the middle, you don't want your king there because that's how you get checkmated. So the idea is put all your pieces aiming at the middle and move your king away from the middle. Okay, so let's look at undeveloped pieces. So this bishop and this knight have not yet been moved. And as you can see, they can attack squares, but not quite the center. The bishop can come a little close to attacking the middle with these two squares, but those two squares are not really the middle, not technically. So undeveloped pieces cannot attack the middle and have fewer places to go. So here's what all the pieces look like when they're on the back row. As you can see, the two rooks do not attack the middle, the two bishops do not attack the middle, and the knights do not attack the middle. Several of them come close. Again, here's the middle. And the queen, she does attack the middle. She's the only one that can attack the middle from the starting square that she's on. But that assumes there's no pawn in her way. So this is what all the back row pieces can do at most if there isn't a pawn in their way. I always try to explain to people that controlling the middle of the board is like controlling the doorway. So basically, in this situation, white has pretty strong control over the middle of the board. So let's see what I mean by the doorway kind of idea. Okay, so this knight is wanting to come into the game, and it's attacking the middle. So normally that would be good. However, pawn to e5 attacks the knight and threatens to take it. Since the pawn is worth 1 point and the knight is worth 3 points, well, that's not going to leave very much space for the knight to stay there. He has to leave. Otherwise, white's going to win a knight for a pawn. So the knight goes all the way back. It's pretty much his only option. So when he goes all the way back, it's it's white's turn now. So white moves here, which stops the other knight from moving out. So as you can see, it's important to control the center so that you can actually keep your pieces in some reasonable spots. If you don't control the center, they're going to get pushed away, just like this knight. That's pretty much what's going to happen. So here is the development dream with pawns. As you can see, you've got 2 pawns attacking the middle. You've got 2 bishops attacking the middle. You've got I'll use blue for the knights. You've got knights attacking the middle. This. And then you've got a queen and the rook attacking the middle as well. This back rook also attacks the middle, but it has to wait for the queen to get out of the way. But this is the dream if you can achieve it. It's very difficult because your opponent will not always let you do it.